So today we're going over how to stretch our hip flexor muscles. These muscles act to bring our hip upwards, and they can be overworked and tighten up, which can then pull on our pelvis and our low back. Before we go into how to do the stretch, there needs to be an understanding of doing a posterior pelvic tilt. How you do this is you can hold the side of your hips so you get an idea of where your pelvis is, and then you're squeezing your butts, trying to rotate your belt upwards to your belly button. Now we'll go into the stretch. So now Tanner's going to show us some variations of this hip flexor stretch. So to get into the stretch, we'll go into a half kneeling position, and then we're trying to go into our posterior pelvic tilt rather than leaning into the stretch. This is the general variation that's going to stretch whichever muscle crossing the hip is tightest. If we bring the back heel up and slide something underneath it, that's now going to be preferentially stretching our Rectus Femoris muscle, a muscle that acts as both a hip flexor and a knee extensor. If we take this away, and Tanner tries to flatten his lower back out, getting a little bit of rounding for the low back, this is now preferentially stressing one of our muscles called the Psoas major. More specifically, we're focusing on the posterior head here. If Tanner returns to the normal position, and if we now bring our foot outwards, this is now preferentially stretching our Iliacus muscle, another one of our hip flexors.